Long ago in feudal Japan, in a province where mountains rose like silent guardians and rivers carved patiently through stone, there lived a young samurai named Daichi. Daichi carried within him a quiet fire. He did not wish to be merely competent. He wished to be exceptional. He imagined his movements flawless, his mind steady, his name remembered long after his footsteps faded. He studied the legends of great warriors. He memorized the duels of Miyamoto Musashi. He spoke often of discipline, mastery, and destiny. Yet when the hour of training arrived, Daichi hesitated. If the morning air was cold, he told himself the body required warmth. If fatigue lingered, he reasoned that recovery was wisdom. If uncertainty touched his mind, he convinced himself that more planning was necessary before beginning. He sharpened his strategies more often than his blade. Days became seasons. Seasons became years. Other warriors, less expressive but more consistent, grew formidable. Their stances were grounded, their reactions precise, their presence calm and restrained. They did not speak much of greatness. They practiced. Daichi continued to dream. One autumn evening, after being defeated by a quiet warrior who once trained beside him, Daichi walked alone along a mountain path. The wind moved gently through falling leaves. For the first time, he saw the truth without defense. His ambition had been large. His effort had been small. His dreams had grown. His skill had not. The mountain he wished to stand upon had not lowered itself to meet him. He had mistaken wanting for becoming. This story reveals a truth about human nature. We admire mastery from a distance. We imagine ourselves capable of it. We believe talent or inspiration will carry us forward. Yet we avoid the narrow path that mastery demands. Skill is not built in excitement. It is built in repetition. We say we want to become exceptional, but we resist the monotony required to do so. We prefer the idea of mastery over the discipline of mastery. The samurai could not afford such illusions. In their world, skill was survival. A blade slightly dull could mean death. A moment of hesitation could end a life. They did not rely on emotion. They relied on law. Miyamoto Musashi wrote that one must polish the mind and body daily. Not occasionally, not when inspired. Daily. The path to exceptional skill is not hidden. It is simply narrow. The first law is to choose one mountain. Daichi once wished to master every weapon at once. The spear, the bow, the blade, strategy, poetry, philosophy. His attention scattered like seeds in the wind. But a river divided into many shallow streams loses force. A river that narrows carves valleys. To become exceptional, one must focus. The samurai did not chase every path. They selected one discipline and honored it with loyalty. When you choose one mountain, you stop wandering between peaks. You begin to climb. Focus is not limitation. It is concentration of force. The second law is to begin before you feel prepared. Daichi waited for confidence. He waited for clarity. He waited for the perfect moment. But preparation without practice is illusion. The sword that waits for perfect conditions never leaves its sheath. Confidence is built through action. The body learns through movement. The mind strengthens through repetition. The samurai trained in rain. They trained in heat. They trained when weary. To wait for readiness is to delay forever. Step onto the path before doubt completes its sentence. The third law is to sharpen daily, without drama. Daichi once trained in bursts of intensity. He would rise before dawn for a week, pushing himself relentlessly. Then he would rest for many days, convincing himself balance was wisdom. But intensity is not mastery. The blade is not sharpened in a single strike of stone. It is refined through steady friction. Kaizen teaches that small improvement repeated without interruption transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. One precise cut each morning. 1 hour of deliberate practice. One repetition performed with full attention. Consistency defeats intensity. Exceptional skill grows quietly, almost invisibly, until one day it is undeniable. The fourth law is to endure boredom without escape. The path to mastery is repetitive. It is not traumatic. Daiichi realized that what he called lack of motivation was often resistance to monotony. Practicing the same movement again and again felt dull. His mind craved novelty. But repetition refines precision. When a swordsman performs a strike 1,000 times, the body no longer hesitates. Movement becomes instinct. Thought becomes unnecessary. Boredom is the threshold of depth. If you escape when practice feels repetitive, you remain shallow. If you remain when practice feels simple, you become profound. The mountain is climbed step by step. No single step is remarkable. Together, they reach the summit. The fifth law is to detach from applause. Daiichi once imagined admiration as he trained. He pictured recognition and praise. But desire for applause fractures focus. The samurai trained whether seen or unseen. Skill is built in empty rooms. When sharpening steel, the blade does not ask who is watching. To seek validation divides attention. To detach from validation unifies it. Mastery grows in silence. As seasons turned, Daiichi began again, not with grand declarations, not with sudden transformation, but with one daily practice. He chose the blade. He rose before sunrise. He performed the same forms each morning. When boredom appeared, he remained. When doubt whispered, he continued. He trusted repetition. At first, change was invisible. But gradually his stance stabilized, his breath deepened, his reactions sharpened, his mind grew quieter. He no longer chased many ambitions. He honored one. He no longer waited for motivation. He acted without it. He no longer feared monotony. He embraced it. Years later, when he stood in battle, there was no hesitation. His body moved without confusion. His blade found its mark. His presence was calm like still water. Exceptional skill had not arrived through inspiration. It had been carved through discipline. The samurai way is simple, though not easy. Choose one mountain. Begin before readiness. Sharpen daily. Endure monotony. Detach from applause. These laws are not dramatic. They do not promise instant greatness. They demand patience. They demand humility. They demand repetition. The mind will resist. It will suggest comfort. It will encourage delay. But the sword grows sharp through friction. The mountain is climbed through steady steps. The warrior becomes exceptional through daily practice. Strength is not found in feeling ready. Strength is found in acting despite resistance. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not rely on fleeting emotion. Choose your path. Sharpen your edge. Walk even in rain. The summit does not descend to meet the dreamer. It yields only to the climber. Do not wait. Begin.